Hi, beautiful goddesses. This is Anastasia talking about all things feminine energy. And today I would like to bring up a topic of, I'm going to title it Chronically Underloved. So, you know how they say that the number one killer disease in the US, let's say, it's heart disease, it's cancer, it's all that. But on the psychological level, the number one killer, the way I see things, is being chronically underloved. And there is a multitude of issues stemming from being chronically underloved, right? Low self-esteem, accepting whatever it is that people are offering, accepting less than you deserve, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And it all comes from us women, men also, but we're talking about women here. The majority probably of people, or definitely a big number of people, were chronically underloved in their childhood, and still feel that way, you know. Even sometimes if they have partners, and sometimes they have loving partners, and they still struggle. Why is that? It's because they've never gotten that love that they needed. That's why we have a bunch of problems, right? But the good news is that it is definitely fixable. It is 100% something that you can do something about it. And I'm not gonna be sitting here and telling you that's an easy process. It's not. It's not an easy process. But if you ask me if it's possible, it's 100% possible to start feeling loved just on your own. If you have other people that want to contribute to that, awesome, great, amazing. But also you can do it just by yourself, just on your own. And I never thought it's something that is even possible, because I thought feeling loved 100% it comes from somebody, right? A parent or a spouse or somebody. It's coming from somewhere. Guess what? It doesn't come from there. It doesn't. It can, but it doesn't have to be coming from the external world. And I've done a lot of work. I'm going to share what I've done. I'm going to share my process, and maybe other people use different methods, but they're about the same, because it's kind of like that road to self-love and self-discovery. It took me a little time. It took me some time, but if I had to do it again, I would do it again, because if somebody would have told me that you can experience feeling really, really deeply loved and deeply accepted just on your own, just by yourself, I wish somebody told me that. But I've heard this, later on in life, and I tried it, and it worked. It's just that process of falling in love with yourself by getting to know yourself. So it's not that superficial, oh, I'm so in love, I'm so pretty. No, it's not that at all. It's actually when when you meet somebody and you don't really know them, you don't really have a lot of feelings for them yet. They might even irritate you. Like, you don't know that person. it's kind of the same process for yourself. First, you're like, I don't know, what should I love about myself? I don't know. And it was interesting because I blindly just started, doing what everybody else was advising on self-love, and I just started trying that out. And one of the things I definitely had to change, first of all, going back to falling in love with the unknown person, it is a process. You can't just look at somebody and truly fall in love because you don't know them yet. You don't know their soul, you don't know their mind, you don't know their psyche, you don't know what's cooking in the subconsciousness, you don't know their emotions. So it's kind of not great, right? It can be an exception, but it's not great when you just look at somebody, oh, I'm so in love. Well, you don't know that person, right? So it's the same thing for us. When we fall in love with ourselves, we have to give ourselves time. We have to have that curiosity about oneself and a lot of acceptance, a lot of discovery until you get there. And there is a place of love that you get to. I remember one thing that I've done is I took a diary and I wrote what I love about myself. And I thought it would be like 3-5 things. And I started writing, and just by the virtue of just doing it, it kept unfolding, right? So it was like a flower opening up. I saw one petal and then the other and then the other, and it just was so. And I remember, I think I wrote 42 qualities, or I combined the external and internal. I combined them, and I was like, "Damn, I didn't know that. That's cool." So you kind of don't know what's inside of you. You just don't know. You kind of start, and you trust the process, and you keep unfolding. You can keep unwrapping that gift that you are, because you are a gift to the universe, to yourself, to people. So I wrote down those qualities that I love about myself. I also wrote qualities that I don't love about myself. And by that time, I've done a lot of acceptance. So I think I wrote 4 things, and they're very kind of circumstantial. So they were not kind of hard or easy. They were just little things that I could change. And I asked myself, what could I change about those things? And I made a plan of what I'm going to do with it, right? And took action. So that's the important part, is taking action about things that you either accept them or you change them, right? I've done a lot of work on accepting my body and the way I look, and my face and the whole thing. Because I don't know why, I always had this image in my head of how a beautiful woman should look like. And it wasn't this. It wasn't this. But I decided that I'm gonna fall in love with myself. It was just a decision. I was like, I decided, I don't know how it's gonna happen. I prayed about it, but I don't know. But I knew I was gonna fall in love with myself. That's 100%. So I started with my best feature, with my best quality that I love about my face, and I kind of started working in that direction. And slowly but surely, I didn't like a certain way my body looked, and then I started going to the gym, and it helped me shape some parts of my body, and it did improve, and I did like it, but at that time I already accepted it. So acceptance plays a lot of it contributes a lot to the path of loving yourself. And I mean, I've done a lot of things. I'm just gonna try to remember what I've done, but there's definitely more. But I started really, my internal dialogue, that was a big one, started really changing. I really made sure that the way I think about myself, the way I talk to myself, it's a very loving, unconditional love energy phrases. And if I would do something or think something beautiful, right, I would congratulate me. Oh my God, great job. For a woman, though, it's very important not to praise yourself too much on the accomplishments, because that's masculine energy. It's super, super important for a woman to praise herself and that others praise her for how she is and how she's being and how she's feeling on that way. Because if you praise yourself on your achievements, then you're telling yourself that if you don't achieve certain things, then you're nothing, and I'm not accepting that. So it's just very fine line. You have to be really careful with that. But in my upbringing, there were not a lot of positive things said to me at all. So I just had to start somewhere. I had to start by just saying, great job, great idea. The way I would do it, though, it was very natural and authentic. Like, I wouldn't just say when I did something not great, saying, oh, you did a great job. No, I would base it on reality. Like, if I really had a great thought on a great idea for, I don't know, business or something, I would say, oh my gosh, awesome idea. And I would constantly say to myself, I love you, I love you, I love you, all the time, all the time. I said it sometimes without feeling it, but I don't know how this works, but eventually you're like, oh yeah. Eventually you really start feeling it. So basically, how you love another person, and you are great at it. I know you're great at loving the other person. Exactly, you're gonna do exact same for you. You're gonna cook the best food. You're gonna take yourself to the best restaurant you can afford. You're gonna provide yourself the best experience that you can provide. That's how you're gonna treat yourself, because that's how you treat a person who you love, right? You give them the best of yourself. You keep your word to themselves, to the person, which is you, right? So you keep your own word to yourself. You keep promises to yourself. You are consistent to yourself, and you do everything out of love. So you do skincare out of love for yourself, because you want to look at yourself in the mirror and enjoy yourself. You cook for yourself the best meals because it's awesome, right? So this eliminates the energy of I have to do this, I must do this. No, I'm doing everything as a dedication for myself, because I'm devoted to myself, because I'm the best thing that ever happened to the universe. Not because I'm better than others, it's because I'm so unique that I am the best thing that happened to the universe. So is my neighbor. He's the best thing that happened to this universe too, because he's also unique in his own way, so there's no competition, right? Constantly talking to yourself, saying things like, you're amazing, my life is amazing, I meet amazing people. And once you get a little bit of like confirmation of that, build on that, build on that. For example, if you met somebody great and you had, let's say, a great conversation, oh my gosh, everywhere I go, I meet amazing people, right? So after doing this for a while, what happens is that you start feeling so good. You know how all those people say, right? All those coaches, and they say, be your own best friend, be comfortable with yourself, enjoy your company, enjoy in the present moment. Well, it's kind of hard to enjoy the present moment if you're not at peace with yourself. You haven't accepted yourself. You're not your own best friend. Of course, it sucks. Like, how would it feel like to sit across the table from somebody, for example, that you kind of like don't accept and don't really admire and don't want to talk to, right? That's how you feel when you're not at peace with yourself. So you want to make sure that, because you're spending 24 hours a day with yourself, you talk to yourself nicely, you treat yourself in the best possible way that your financing can afford. For example, I started buying all organic food, not necessarily because I had extra money, no, no, but because I said, you know what, I'm the best thing that ever happened to this universe, so I'm gonna treat myself in the best possible way. So I kind of did it as a devotion to myself. I found myself being so devoted that I said, I'm gonna provide myself the best possible food. And it does make you feel a certain way. It does make you feel kind of very uplifted. So changing the internal dialogue was really really important. So I've done also a lot of work on emotions, right? A lot of work, a lot of childhood, what is that called? Childhood healing, right? Childhood trauma healing. I've done a lot of that. Again, if you guys want to look up Marisa Peer, there's different modalities, different people. But Marisa Peer on YouTube is free. You can Google childhood trauma work, I think, something like that. But if you YouTube her, she's there. I've done her meditation. I've done a lot, right? So those are just some examples of how I did it. And what I can tell you from my experience is that you can be in love with yourself, with your life. And that's kind of the same feeling. I didn't know that was possible. Again, I wish somebody would have told me, but it's okay. That's how it was meant to be, I guess. But you can feel in love with yourself, and just in love in general, not in love with somebody specific, but just in love. You can feel that. It means you're in love with yourself, you're in love with being, you're in love, you're in full acceptance of who you are. You're in love with your life because you're either build it the way you like it or you are on the way to build it, and that's kind of the same thing. Because if you're going, let's say, if you're going in that direction, every step you take is devoted to that mission, right? So it's the same energy. You're already there. So it's, once you get there, it's going to be awesome, but also on the way there, it has the same energy of it, you know? It's even more exciting because it's kind of has the unknown to it, the unknown factor to it. So this global issue that I feel is the most detrimental to women and to everybody really is being chronically underloved and waiting for somebody to come and love you one day. I mean, you can do that. That's one of the options, right? But Don't you want to be in love today, like right now? Don't you want to do that? Why do you want to wait even one day, even a week, even 2 years, 5 years? I don't know. Why would you wait if you can have it now? Like right now, right? It's one of the most beautiful discoveries that I've ever done, is discovering that you can be in love just in the state of that in love feeling. You can just do it on your own. That's cool. I think that's power. That's power. And then from that energy, choosing your environment, choosing your friend, choosing your male counterpart is so much more fun and pleasurable, and you don't really have to. You kind of want to, but you don't have to. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I strongly encourage you ladies to not wait, but start that journey of feeling in love, being in love with yourself. Just start. All you have to do is start. Just start. Once you're in it, you're gonna keep going, because you're gonna feel it. You're gonna almost immediately feel a shift, and the more you do it, it's gonna be spiraling, right? So it's gonna be increasing and increasing every day, and you won't be able to stop. You're just gonna be so in love with that energy and with yourself that you won't be able to stop. And it goes up and up and up. It doesn't really. It's not like you reach a point of love and then it stops. It's increasing daily. It's just a daily practice. It keeps increasing and increasing and increasing, and the beautiful result of it is that you're not dependent on other people to give you love. You're not dependent. You don't. I don't know if I like to use the word I don't care, but you kind of don't care. You're kind of like, oh, okay. So yeah, being in love with your life and with yourself has a lot of benefits, because you're not going to be accepting things that are, out of that narcotic dependency on other people's to give you life, right? So anyways, ladies, I invite you to fall in love with yourself, because that's an amazing feeling, one of the best feelings you can experience.